7,200 years. That's how long the money in your savings account needs to double. Not a metaphor, not a worst case. Chase publishes their savings rate on a PDF on their own website. Rates in effect June 22nd, 0.01%. Every balance tier, $0 to $1 million. Run the 3-second test on that number, and it says 7,200 years. Writing has only existed for about 5,200. Cuneiform, clay tablets. Your savings account needs longer than that, plus another 2,000 years to turn $1,000 into 2. There's a piece of arithmetic that produced that sentence. Takes 3 seconds, and nobody handed it to you. Here it is. Okay, here. 72 divided by your rate equals the number of years for your money to double. That's the whole thing. 7%, 72 divided by 7. About 10 years. 11 seconds and you have it for life. But before you go anywhere with it, I actually want to be honest about why it works. Because it's an approximation. The real doubling formula involves a natural logarithm, and the true constant on top isn't 72, it's about 69.3. 69.3. Somebody rounded it up. Not to cheat you, because 72 divides cleanly by 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 12. And 69.3 divides cleanly by, nothing. And a number you can't do in your head is a number you're never actually going to use. So it drifts at the edges. It's sharpest between 5 and 10%. At that 7%, it says 10.3 years, and the exact answer is 10.2. 3 weeks of error across a decade. Push it to the extremes and it wobbles more, and I'll tell you exactly where and by how much when we get there, because a video that oversells its own tool is precisely the thing this tool exists to catch. It's never more than a few percent off, and it's still the single most dangerous piece of arithmetic anyone's ever handed you, because of what happens the second you point it at your own bank account. Which we already did. That's where the 7,200 came from. 72 divided by 0.01. And here's where I keep my own promise. At a rate that tiny, the rule overshoots. The exact answer is about 6,930 years. Cool. Great. If you watched the video I did on high yield savings, you already know the dollar version. $1 a year on $10,000 against roughly $400 on identical, equally FDIC insured money. That video showed you what you're losing. This one shows you the time. And time's the version that doesn't wash off, because you can replace a few $100 and you cannot replace a decade. Now, the internet's going to tell you the banks are hiding this from you. Don't go there with me. Nobody is hiding a division. It's in a Khan Academy video. It's on Wikipedia. It's on a Stanford course page that looks like it was last touched in 2004. It's simpler than a conspiracy, and it's worse than one. There's no institution on earth that makes money off you being able to do this in your head. Not the bank, not the card company, not the guy who wants to manage your portfolio for 1% a year. Nobody hid it from you. Nobody handed it to you either. That's not malice. That's indifference. And indifference scales so much better than malice ever could. Which is just... So let's run it. Not on a textbook example. On you. A rate field being retyped 4 times. No cuts. 0.01%. Big bank savings. 7,200 years. You've met this one. 4%. A high-yield savings account right now in 2026. Same money, same FDIC insurance, like 10 minutes of paperwork. 72 divided by 4. 18 years. 18, not 7,200. The distance between those two rows is... That's not a rate difference. That's 7,182 years. And it's just sitting there inside a decision you could make on your lunch break, and I'd bet money you won't make it this week. And that's 7%. The stock market's long-run average, and I mean the honest one, the one after inflation. Nominal's around 10. Real is around 7. 72 divided by 7. About 10 years. Fine. Good. expected. And that row, the 10-year doubling, the index fund, is what 27 other videos about this rule are entirely about. Here it's the third most interesting thing on the screen. 22%. Your credit card. That's the Fed's own figure for people who carry a balance, which is, that's the person I'm talking to. 72 divided by 22, 3.5 years. Same tool, same division, and the number is pointing at you. Compound interest does not know which direction it's running. It's an engine, and nobody ever told the engine which way to face. Your debt doubles in 3.5 years. Your money, in the best account you're realistically going to open, takes 18. Your debt compounds about 5 times faster than your savings ever will. And the small print, because, okay, I said I'd give it to you. At 22%, the rule undershoots. It says 3.3. The exact answer is 3.5, which is worse. So I'm using the worse one, because it's the true one. I already made a whole video about the minimum payment trap. $3,000, 14 years. That entire thing lives right here in one line of arithmetic instead of 14 minutes of amortization tables. And that's just... Here's the trap. Nobody sells you a bad rate. They sell you a small-sounding one. It's only 1%. I mean, 1% of what? Over how long? Those two questions used to be unanswerable in real time. Standing there, nodding, being agreeable. And now they take 3 seconds. Watch, a fund earning 8% doubles every 9 years. That same fund charging you 1% pays you, okay, it pays you 8 minus 1. It pays you 7, and now it doubles every 10.3. You didn't lose 1%. Across a 40-year career, you lost an entire doubling. 10 grand, 40 years at 8%, about 217,000. Same 10,000, same 40 years at 7, about 150. That 1 percentage point, the one you didn't ask about because asking felt rude, took roughly 31% of your ending balance. Now widen the gap by 1 more point and it stops being like a haircut. 6% doubles every 12 years. 8% doubles every 9. Over a 36-year career, that's 3 doublings versus 4. 8 times your money versus 16. Same money, same decades, half the outcome. Over 2 points you were never in a position to see. Never even... And before somebody tells me 1% is some fringe ripoff, well, sort of. The average advisory fee in 2026 is 0.96%. That's not the scam version. That's the standard version. It's the default price of the thing most people get politely steered into. So that's the job. It was never doubling. It's detection. The rule takes any number a salesperson can make sound small and converts it into the only unit you actually feel, which is time. It works on anything. Anything with a rate on it. Inflation runs around 3%. 72 divided by 3. 24 years for the cash in your account to lose half of what it can buy. Which means doing nothing is also a rate. You're not sitting this one out. You're playing at -3. Anyway, you weren't robbed of this. Nobody took it from you. Nobody handed it to you either. Not in 13 years of school. Not in one conversation with anyone who ever wanted your money. It costs 3 seconds. It's yours now, permanently. It doesn't come off. So from here on, every APR, every APY, every expense ratio, it's only 1% is going to convert itself into years inside your head before the person saying it finishes their sentence. You won't be able to stop it. That's fine. The money was never listening to your intentions anyway. It only ever answered one question. How fast does this double? And in whose favor?